Welcome to HSBC Build and Grow, a series that focuses on managing finance for business continuity. As financials takes center stage in business continuity conversations, your story together with HSBC is proud to present this series, featuring some of the finest minds in the ecosystem to help businesses leverage the financial ingenuity, perspective, and insights from these experts to power their own journey, their own continuity. Pushkar, very excited to be talking to you. And, you have a brilliant name to your startup, if I may say so. Let's Transport. It can't get as direct and as simple as this. Uh, but tell me something that the space that you are in, and trucking space particularly, has been very impacted in the last few months.
Right.
How are you seeing the space?
Right. So Shraddha, I think what has happened is definitely, for when you're talking about essentials as a product space, we've seen strong tailwinds coming our way, wherein, brands are now trying to move to more reliable supply chain. However, non-essentials definitely has taken a hit. So as a company, we did take a dip in our transactions that we were doing in the period of April and early May, but we've seen post-recovery and we're back to pre-COVID levels as to where we were earlier.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. So the recovery has been quite fast, right?
That has been quite fast. Fingers crossed, but that's been the case so far. We've added a couple of new clients which are largely dealing with essentials or home deliveries. What we have also seen is brands are now agile and experimenting with home delivery and other delivery channels. And I think
Yeah.
it brings us to a strong tailwind where you're seeing where brands who were earlier reliant on probably individual truck owner are now looking for more supply chain partners who can and help them be more resilient.
Okay. Pushkar, if I may ask you to do this, because I'm sure you would have told this 100 times, but thousands of times, but tell us about Let's Transport
Absolutely.
and why did you start this?
Sure. So I started Let's Transport in 2015. Prior to that, I graduated from IIT Kharagpur, worked for a company called ITC Limited. And it's essentially my experience in those 2 particular years with ITC that I kind of experienced the pain points of logistics in India. The challenge was we are very focused on short distance trucking. Think of it as we're moving products for brands, such as moving it to the distributors, retailers, or to an end consumer like you and I. And when I was at ITC, the challenges would be we would not be able to send on our stocks right on time, which would result in a sales loss for us. I mean, if you go back to your old days, you would think, you go to a Kirana outlet, you order a can of Coke, but he offers you a Pepsi because Coca can thane. Right? That
Ha.
essentially is known as sales loss because of stock out situation. So I grappled with those problems in my company. And that's how I thought of, looking deeper into what this entire problem statement is all about. When I looked deeper into it, I realized that while you have TCI and a lot of fairly large companies in long distance trucking, you do not have anything in short distance trucking, right? Which is within city, in and around city transactions, right? And that's where I believe that we could solve it using technology, which I'll probably talk about in a little future. But that's essentially what we do. We help brands connect with individual driver owners to move products in and around the city. Now, during my journey, what I did realize was, and I was quite intrigued as to why a TCI, while it was working for ITC in the long distance trucking space, wouldn't want to experiment in a short distance trucking space, which
Hmm.
happens to be a natural progression, right?
Yeah.
I did kind of realize, and my insights on it were, when you do a long distance trucking, right, your average trip is about 30,000 kgs, one big truck which moves about 2,500 kilometers, and your average revenue per trip is about 60,000 rupees, where you net still about 5 to 8,000 rupees. The challenge with short distance trucking is you're moving a very small truck and probably 50 odd kilometers in and around the city. Right? What it translates to is every trip would yield probably 1,000 rupees, and where you would
Hmm.
net probably 50 rupees of profit. Now, every business in India, the biggest problem is managing drivers. Now, every family owned business has an incentive of managing a driving, getting 5,000 rupees versus managing 100 drivers to get the same amount of money in, which is why this industry has always been fairly fragmented. So that's
Wow.
how we
So
started.
yeah, so you studied the market, understood the pain points. Yeah. But tell me something then, how are you solving it and how are you doing it differently? And also I want to understand why before you nobody else did this.
Oh, absolutely. Wonderful. Yes. Now, if you look at what are the space that we are in, right? We try to reduce your cost of distribution and help you achieve more sales by preventing a stock out situation, right? Now, what
Hmm.
it translates to is if you look at your grocery spends or grocery buying pattern, you typically buy groceries on a Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
So when I look from an ITC, I had a demand uptick on Saturday and Sunday, but all of a sudden that demand would taper down on the remaining part of the week. But when you look at an Amazon, right, you typically shop on a Saturday and Sunday, and hence your delivery staggered Monday onwards. Now, if there is enough and more demand variabilities which every industry offers, if you club them, you get a beautiful curve which you can leverage those variabilities on. This essentially leads to lowering your cost of a brand and providing them with enough and more truckers by being an aggregator in this position. Right? Prior to us, none of them solved it for two reasons. One, I think logistics does not seem to be a glamorous industry, thankfully so. But I think more importantly, so people try to definitely solve it. It's an industry where people have risen through ranks. You wouldn't see logistics going out being day one recruiters as at the most premier campuses, right? Which is why I think the problem is fairly large, and you're bound to have more efficiencies coming our way, or probably some other organized partners way. So it's a problem
So,
which could have been solved probably 5, 10, 50 years ago. It just wasn't solved till now.
So, Pushkar, if you can run the whole thing through an example so that we understand end to end.
Absolutely. Now, a brand like a Coke would need a lot of trucks on a daily basis, right? Now, they go out in the market and they find these truckers using individual truck driver owners. Right? Now, they kind of figure out 10, 20, 50 of them, and they kind of try to work with them for a fairly long, year-long period, right? Whatever variabilities of demand comes in, right? Think of it as summer, you need a lot of trucks. This demand is something which brands are not able to capitalize efficiently on, because you cannot find so many truck drivers on a daily basis, right? That's where you need an app which can connect you to 60,000 or a lakh truck drivers, and they can service you as and when you need it. So once a transaction is booked onto our platform, it gets circulated to say 60,000 truckers, which in turn would bid for it and then go and complete that transaction.
So the truckers here would be people who own
individual truck driver, commonly seen small trucks which you see plying on the road.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the lot that we're focused on.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what we're trying to do. When you look at it, when I or during my research or legwork, when I spoke to drivers, right, this is fairly intuitive. Why can't you do load balancing between clients, right? Coke ke liye Monday ko kaam karo, Amazon ke liye Tuesday, so on and so forth. They came up with another insight that working with an enterprise in India is fairly complex. Right? You need to do quotation, you need to do relationship management, invoicing, collection, so on and so forth. Which is why every driver owner is kind of restricted to one client, and he marries that client for the next 10 years. Right? Now, that's something that went into our product, right? What we kind of democratize work for them is download an app, you get access to 200 large enterprises, everything else taken care by us. So for a driver, it's a whole set of convenience that comes our way through technology.
Yeah. So also what it means is that you are empowering so many truck drivers, basically creating micro entrepreneurs, right?
Absolutely. Just to give you a sense of scale, there are 50 lakh such small truck drivers in India.
50 lakh.
That's right.
And you have 60,000 of them.
I have 60,000 of them today.
Tell me something about this segment. 60,000 truck drivers. What has been your study of them and their aspirations? If you can talk about that.
I think it's a fairly underserved community. I mean, to my horror or my surprise, they did not even have bank accounts, right? Now, the beauty of such industry is because you start serving them, they tend to have a lot of loyalty towards your platform. So our ambition is to have enough and more products for them, which allows them to have a better lifestyle, right? It could be in format of democratizing working with an enterprise. You don't have to worry about anything else. It could be providing them additional earnings. It could be as simple as helping them open a bank account, or on our driver onboarding center, where we not just teach our applications to them, we also help them download a net banking for a bank so that they don't have to stand in line every month to get a passbook updated. Right? And I think that is what this lot is all about. They're a notch lower, a tad lower than a Zomato delivery boy or an Ola cab driver, in both in terms of social strata, in terms of literacy. And I think there is a significant hand holding required for them to kind of bring them up to speed to where others are.
Have you you said that we have 50 lakh truck drivers, and out of that 60,000 are on your platform. For someone like you, Pushkar, because I feel that you would be from IIT Kharagpur, then worked in ITC. ये इतने सारे truck driver को onboarding कैसे किया?
Oh, बहुत difficult था. It was not easy. Absolutely, it's one of the most difficult community to work with. I think the first year was very painful, right? To understand what products would they be comfortable with, what are the service offerings, so on and so forth, to a level where you had to sit with drivers through the entire transaction experience.
Wow.
I think what it did was, one thing we kind of tried communicating them was, we are here for you. Right? So we treat drivers as a primary clientele, and then comes our enterprises. Right? Now, the fact of the matter is, early on, they would be in a shell where they would not expose a lot of their pain points to you. But once you start building trust by solving smaller problems, they start building and seeing that, you're working towards a mission which is helping them. And I think word of mouth is significantly high in this space. you'll be surprised we don't spend any marketing dollars on our supply onboard. So most of our supply is all word of mouth. So the first year was definitely the most painful for us. But I think when we understood what product market fit means for them, which is not just on technology, but also on service, on their earning patterns, so on and so forth, I think that's when we started seeing organic growth of suppliers coming on our way.
मगर real example बताओ कि कैसे one truck driver you onboarded, because it sounds very mysterious to me. मतलब if I have to do this today, I don't know.
Yeah,
like
so even I didn't
stand
know.
on the street.
So, I'll tell you the biggest challenge. The first driver which I onboarded, his words verbatim were कि यार आपके जैसे बहुत कंपनियां हैं, मेरा पैसा मार के चलेगा.
Wow.
Now, that's the most difficult part that you have to breach, right? And which is where when you start, you tell कि सर पूरे ट्रांजैक्शन में आपके साथ बैठूंगा, ट्रांजैक्शन खत्म होने पे मैं आपको पैसा दे दूंगा. This is a very difficult experience, right? Convincing कि यार एक ट्रिप कर लो मेरे versus हम लोग 10 लोग हैं, हर 10 लोग एक ट्रक ड्राइवर के साथ बैठेंगे.
Yeah.
And that kind of, then we were very focused upon that particular driver bringing in their referrals. Because what we knew was you could not solve it by throwing money to this problem, right? I mean, when there's a breach of trust, it is extremely difficult. I mean, back in the day, 2014, 2015 were years where, Uber for trucks was, or Uber for X was the model which everyone was kind of going behind. And there are 106 startups which came in this particular space that I'm talking about, right? So it's natural that these truckers had lost trust to a level, yaar paisa leke bhag gaye, aap to nahi doge, so on and so forth. And it was a pain. But I think once you get that set of 100 truck drivers who are trusting you, I think then it's a fairly virtuous flywheel which comes your way.
Wow.
तो उनको जाके समझाया, सर आप इतना कमाते हो, अब आप इतना कमाओगे, 4 transactions मैं आपके साथ बैठ के करवाऊंगा, and that's how this story built up.
Wow, wow. So initially you bootstrapped or you raised money?
I bootstrapped. Initially I bootstrapped for a little close to about 3/4 to a year.
Oh, that's it. 3/4.
यार मेरी सारी savings चली गई. I was a guy who was just 2 years into work.
No, but the good news is that you built something compelling enough to get investors in 3/4 to a year. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also in the time frame when you started, as you said, it was quite noisy, na?
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
it was so much of that was the pitch deck.
That was the pitch then. I remember. Yeah, absolutely. Everyone wants to be an Uber for truck.
Tell me, what was your pitch to the investors?
We never wanted to be Uber for trucks. I think the industry is very different. It has its own subtle pain points, its own benefits which you have to solve. And while Uber definitely might be a model which works, but we never wanted to be that fancy one. Second, I think we were trying to address a very different pain points, right? Uber is a consumer app. We wanted to be enterprise. Uber is B2C, we are B2B, and so on and so forth. We were never in the business just to copy paste, because coming from an enterprise background, I had a few personal experiences which I wanted to solve for. And I wanted to solve for because I couldn't get available solutions in the market, right? I tried contacting most of these logistics companies. Why don't you want to solve this problem for me? And that's how I developed those insights about this business.
Very, very, it comes across when you talk. Matlab right from the ground. That's why, my question that how did you onboard is like as basic as,
yes,
and you went through that. Yeah. Pushkar, 2015, now we are in 2020. If you have to say these 5 years, tell us 1 or 2 or maybe 3 key learnings while you have been in the trenches with the truck drivers building a platform.
I think being equitable and trust. That's foremost, right? I think, and that was just validated by this pandemic. But we've tried to be very equitable, very transparent with all of them, right? Not just our truck drivers, but even our clients, even our investors, even our employees, right? I think that's something which I carry away over the last 5 years. I also think focus is something which is extremely important. Solve one problem, but be extremely good at it, right? While there might be enough and more pulling forces, just focus on one thing which is solving. If there's real need, if there's real merit, try building it out one block at a time. I think these two have at least helped me survive or come to where we are today.
Wow. And if you have to say that 1 or 2 things, if you didn't know, but you learned in the journey.
Absolutely. I think logistics is not an optimization business. It's a financing business. So, paradox is when I actually, I read about money matters, I thought this is the reason why I was being called. But yes, I think I was naive when I started this business to think of it as it's an optimization problem. It is, no doubt. And I have a thesis, my graduation thesis in the same space. But it is also a large business of working capital, right? Which is where you have a difference of accounts receivable and accounts payable. This simple terminology, I was fairly naive to not understand before. But I think now we're trying to kind of learn this concept very well and manage liquidity our way. So
now that you said that it was your thesis topic, tell us the difference? Like, how do you see optimization and how do you see
Oh, absolutely. So
financing?
my thesis was dynamic vehicle routing using heuristics. So these are some algorithms that you use to kind of find the best way, best routes, most cost efficient, most service levels, so on and so forth. Right? And that's what my thesis was all about. When I came to this business, I realized, this is probably stage two. Step one is working with a driver, right, in a most human possible way, where you get the trust in. Working with a client where you're solving accounts receivable, account payables as a problem, and then building it to a point where you have enough data to help you optimize that. So we probably reached that place 2.5 years ago. So you can't optimize extremely well with just 100 trucks running on your network.
Yeah. One very silly question, but I want to ask you, ये जो truck driver होते हैं जिनका एक single truck होता है या mini truck होता है, वो तो financing पे loan पे लेते होंगे, or do they buy it? So like how do they procure it?
So they take it on loan. I'll just spend a minute on this again. If you look at this trucker, right, he's a very unique person. He's a guy who's coming from a rural village. He is looking out for work historically from 2006, 2000s. And the only thing that he could think of or see was a large warehouse. Right? And there are plenty of them all across the country. Right? The challenge is B2C business, what an Ola and Uber did was not intuitive probably 10, 15 years ago. Right? The only thing was your warehouse, what I have an access to about 1 lakh of capital. I can get 2-3 lakh loan more and I'll buy a small truck. Right? So between 2000 and 2015, this segment, the small trucks, was the best-selling segments across all OEMs, Tata, Mahindra, Ashok. These were the trucks which sold. Right? This guy then graduates onto a big truck. Right? Now what happens is, come 2015, the same set of driver who could buy a 4 lakh small truck could also buy an Indica, and where he would earn more because of Ola and Uber, because of the perverse incentives which we were giving. And hence from 2016 through 2019, you see a decline in sales because a lot of these drivers were now buying Indicas of the world. But 2019, once incentives rationalized, this again has become the best-selling segment. Now, the reason why I was telling you this story is this community is so unique that they give an insight to all OEMs, all manufacturers as to what trucking is all about, right? What trucking community is, which is why most of these OEMs have actually invested in all of the platforms which I've just mentioned. Think of Mahindra, they have invested in somewhere, Tata has invested in somewhere else, so on and so forth. And hence, this as a community is a set of people who are coming in from a rural village nearby, taking trucks on loan, and they're desperate for work because they have an EMI which has to go out. And hence, even during pandemic, they were very aggressive in requesting work from our platform.
Wow. And it's phenomenal, no, that they had a platform like yours, Let's Transport.
I think it helped both of us. I mean, April, I think, COVID and lockdown are two very different impacts on our business. They shouldn't be clubbed. And I think it also allows you to see what's the strength of your platform. It stress tests your platform, right? You claim to have 60,000 trucks. Can you actually get even a truck when there's actually need of it?
Yeah.
I think that stress test, I think we've been able to pass well, at least from our client's perspective and even from our driver partners' perspective.
I'm enjoying talking to you. You're so passionate about a space. At the whole space and what you're doing. Honestly, like I never thought of trucking platform as exciting, but you're making it so cool. Yeah.
No. Thank you so much. Humbled by it. But the biggest challenge in logistics is, right, recruiting people. None of fancy bankers, fancy consultants would ever want to look at logistics, right? That's at least that's the bias which every one of us carries. To get these guys, and you actually have to tell them what's this industry all about, right? And I think maybe because of repeated efforts of failing on hiring great folks, I think that's the reason I have to be more passionate now. But I thoroughly enjoy. I think the only thing which has changed after me spending 5 years with trucks is, first, पहले मैं Mercedes Benz देख के excited होता था. अब यार वो 110 truck वो बड़ी. So that's the only thing I think it's come my way.
No, but it shows, and that nobody can take away. Like, you can't fake this. It shows that you look that you're enjoying this. Pushkar, if I can ask you, about the revenue model, कि पैसा कैसे बनता है, or how has it been in the last 5 years?
So we've been profitable operationally. We only invest capital in technology, product, and new initiatives. So none of our cities need capital to run. They scale fairly well. Our business model is simple. We go to a large enterprise. We sell two kinds of services that you need. Hey, you need small trucks to deliver products. It's something that you've been doing for age-old, probably 50 odd donkey years. We are here to do it more efficiently. Right? One, we offer you better service levels, and you can manage it through technology. And at the same time, you can see cost benefits, which translates in a month or so from operations. So that's how we get in clients. These are large corporates. Think of them as Amazons, Pepsi, so on and so forth. And at the other hand, we start onboarding truck drivers, right? How we do it is, initially we go have a fleet on street, which would probably talk to drivers, educate them on an application, and then we start building that network up. For every successful transaction, we take a take rate or a commission out of it.
From the enterprise,
From both.
both the sides.
So we would get money from the enterprise. We would keep our transaction take rates and then remit the remaining to our driver partners. So
I hope it's not too high.
Oh, it is not. Rather, if it's high, it tells you that, the value that you're creating for both is enough and more, that you're still creating enough value for them. But at certain geographies, we do have equitable take rates. I wouldn't say high. I think it's equitable is the right word. Where a driver partner is happy parting up ways of X percentage of his earnings because we have created that delta value in his life.
Yeah. And do you track the impact you are creating on this segment?
Absolutely. As I said, that's my primary clientele. So, kya life mein unko chahiye, to a level where we've done some partnerships which allows them to save more time fueling at fuel stations, right? So we're just trying to look at what a driver does in his life and save time for him. Because I think today they might not be putting a value to it, but tomorrow when they realize, because of this platform, I've saved 2 hours in a week, I think that goes a big way. Which is where the concept of training them on net banking, training them on other things which are not part of our platform still helps us going a long way.
And if you have to track, I don't know, if you have to track from your let's transport se pehle ka world and let's transport ke baad ka world, overall metrics, productivity.
You would say, the productivity that we look for is twofold. On the client side, what is their reduction in cost per ton of kilometer move. So the freight metric which you measure is how much do you pay to move 1 ton over a kilometer. So that is about a little close to 15 to 20% for clients. So they've seen about 15 to 20%. On the supply side, how much revenue have you earned than what you were earning before? So we don't look at it per kilometer, but at the daily level, how much have you been able to earn? That number today is about 25%. This in all gives us a healthy take rate in between as well. So we are fairly confident of creating value for all 3 of us in the system.
No, so that gets me to the next question. That you said something very interesting, that in the last 5 years, what you've done among other things, right, is have focus. And that focus has led to this 60,000 truck drivers, all these enterprises and actually core problem that you've solved in the last 5 years. What are some of the areas that you're looking to expand to in the coming years, if I may say so?
Absolutely. So a couple of things. We work with industry verticals to kind of, we work with 6 broad industry verticals. Think of them as consumer goods, such as Nestle, Pharmas. The second one would be e-commerce, the online retail. The third one is organized retailers. The fourth one is so on and so forth. So as an enterprise facing business, we want to develop core competencies across different industry verticals. So my expansion now would be towards paints, cements, so on and so forth, at every industry, right? Every industry that I onboard on my network changes my variability curve. So the idea is to have something where you have strengths on each sector, right? Second is expanding on my supply side, where I want to work with more different types of trucks, right? So when I was young, we had trucks which were to the tune of 1 ton, which is the smallest one that you see. Today, we have about 10-ton trucks, right? Now, this diversification allows us to do 2 benefits. It allows us to give more optimization opportunities to our client. पहले अगर आप 1.5 टन का माल 1 टन की गाड़ी में भेज रहे हो, आज मैं 1.5 टन की गाड़ी आपको भेज दूंगा. And hence your driver cost is much lower, so on and so forth, right? And hence your switching cost with client drastically increases because their dependency starts to then increase more. At the same time, your driver, because you have a network from 1 ton to 10 ton, if tomorrow the driver is enterprising in nature and he wants to buy another truck, we would recommend him to buy a bigger truck so that his earning potential every month changes.
Actually, you answered a very important question. I was going to ask you, what gives you competitive advantage, if I may ask? Because I think from outside, it seems like that you've done the hard legwork of onboarding, because that to me is the biggest thing, right? Getting 60,000 truck drivers on your platform. So you've solved that. But now what you're saying is that, with all the variability, customization, ensuring that the enterprise customers keep getting the best. And I think that would be your differentiation.
Absolutely right. And the good thing, which at least that's what been voiced by my clients is, I don't go and pitch that, I'm the best out there. But the challenge is there are not a lot of organized players present. And hence, whatever we do is a tad benefit for them. So every year that a client increases their relationship with us, they would see benefits. And hence, for them to move away from the platform, they would then be going back to an individual driver owner model, which would take their cost probably 25% upwards.
And is there any competitor in the market?
Well, as I said, there were 106 earlier, but I think between that to today, a lot of them kind of shut shop. A few pivoted. A few of us, handful of us survived, but I think those who are left. Porter happens to be one competitor to us. Blowhorn is a competitor. Both are very fine companies. Both of them have different business models, not exactly an overlap, but yes, they are in the space of intracity trucking, is what we call them.
Yeah. Okay. Pushkar, very impressed talking to you and what you have done. This is using tech, real problem, real community, and somewhere, empowering in a very tangible way the whole economy, right? Like, because productivity बढ़ता है तो सब
Ekdam.
पूरे देश का बढ़ता है. Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
When I
Yeah.
started this business, I always thought this was a cost center, right? Logistics is a cost center. And hence, 5 years ago, my client conversations would be, कि भाई cost में क्या होने वाला है, ये बता. And I'm like, boss, 15% तो कम होगा आपका. Today, interestingly, when I go and talk to a client, they don't ask me about cost. They have a fear of missing out. यार मेरा retailer उड़ान से order करे 3 घंटे में ले जा रहा है. And I am taking 2 days to service them. Now,
Yeah.
all of those enterprise buyers are now focusing on how to make it more efficient.
Yeah.
So the good part is they now understand tangible values and the intangible benefits that a platform brings to their table.
Yeah, it also at a macro level, it also talks about the role of technology, right? Like how technology has brought productivity in our world over and more so in our country.
Absolutely. And I completely agree, because running on a very wafer thin margins plus on a very small ticket size business, अगर आप हर business से 50-100 रुपए हर transaction से कमा रहे हो, you need to do 100,000 transactions a day for a business to be of meaningful size.
Yeah.
People driven businesses would not be able to solve this problem ever.
Yeah.
You just don't be able to do it.
Yeah. Pushkar, what's the big dream?
I think my biggest dream, right? If you look at logistics in India, right, most of the publicly traded companies, they are 1 to 2% of what their counterparts are in the China, right, or anywhere in the globe. And I think there's a glass ceiling which our logistics companies have hit, and for the right and wrong reasons both. I think by bringing in fresh talent to this industry, right, when you are talking about leading people who have solved multiple problems in different industries and bringing technology, I think you can create a scalable entity. So I personally am super excited about removing the fragmentation of this industry. I mean, why should an Indian company be just 1% of their global counterpart, which is, by the way, the biggest company in India? And that's, I think, what excites us. Also, what excites us is in an environment which has been left untouched for the last 50 years, you have enough and more inefficiencies, right? I'm talking about inefficiency in one space. Now, once you're close to this environment, you'll find 10 more inefficiencies around in the adjacent businesses, which gives you a very strong competitive advantage to create multiple businesses in the same ecosystem.
Yeah. Wow, very impressive. I don't know if are you also looking at, you said that intercity, trucking, transportation solution you're providing. Are you also looking at?
Within city.
Huh?
We are in within city, intracity.
Huh. Intracity kya hota hai?
Intracity is within a city. Even I didn't know that before.
Yeah. No. So that's what I was meaning. That it's intracity.
Yes.
But are you planning to do intercity also? No. Okay.
I think both are very complementary businesses. Both have their own different value systems that you have to create, which is what I said, focus, remember? I mean, we've had these conversations, but I think focus always helps.
Yeah. And there is huge opportunity right now to crack that only, right?
Absolutely.
In the next few years. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
We're barely scratched the surface with 1% truckers. I think till about we have 25% truckers of India. I think we are good to go. We have
25%.
I mean, we have that much of potential. Then we'll start thinking about other adjacent business.
तो कितना है 50 लाख ट्रक ड्राइवर्स हैं तो उसका 25% कितना होगा 10 लाख तो अभी 60,000 है 10 लाख
12 लाख लो हम अभी 60,000 like 1 to 2%.
Yeah. In how many months or years are you going to do that?
Oh, that depends. I think it's a function of a lot of things. I'll not, but I think in a near future we should.
Soon. Yeah.
I don't want to kind of, I mean, maybe I could do it better than what I come in today.
Yeah. No, but honestly, I'm very impressed with your attitude and that comes across. And I think it's it's like the mindset, right? And it's the passion and mindset and like just enjoying the process, which comes across in the way you are building it. Now I want to ask you, what does money mean? You are on Money Matters. What does money mean to you?
I think in every business, in both professional and personal, money matters a lot. I think in our business, especially so because, you're representing interests of a driver community, which otherwise they don't have a voice to represent. Before this pandemic, we kind of worked together with all of our stakeholders, partners, to understand what we wanted to be, like what is our true north. And we found that we wanted to be equitable with our driver partners, right? Now, when I talk that we want to be equitable, which has multiple implications, right? Wherein you want to pay them on time, irrespective of whether a client will pay you or not, right? And which is why money matters so much, because that's one of the key ingredient which is going in building this trust, right? And I think which is why there are a lot of moving parts professionally in logistics, with a very limited logistics domain, a lot of moving parts which needs to be taken care of. And I think just before the pandemic, things were a little hazy for us, largely because we are also dependent on our clients, right? I mean, our revenues are outside of what we've raised in capital, and hence it's not equity which drives this business anymore, right? Now, what it translates to is, if you look at a business, right, think of it as an Amazon, think of it as a JSW Cement. Now, all of a sudden, people started working from home, which meant all your bills would now take longer to get clear. Right. Which also meant now, with liquidity crisis hitting your clients, they would want to push out your payments. Right? It's the classic Indian enterprise problem. Right? Right. I think these are small things which we identified early on and tried to solve it structurally, so that we don't end up in a place where there's a liquidity crisis. Some of the things that we did was, one, we worked with our clients to kind of convey why it's necessary, right? A lot of clients, we do empathize with our clients that when they say, hum log ka bhi revenue nahi hai. But the challenge is, in this pandemic, if you go back and think, right, these delivery boys or drivers who are actually delivering products. These are those frontline workers. And usme aap bole, yaar, kaam karo, main paisa nahi dunga, it just does not click. Which is why it brings me back to being equitable, right? When you have such conversations, you're not representing your interest, right? You're representing the interest of 60,000 drivers. I think most of our clients have been very accommodative to kind of understand this, right? At the same time, where there was genuine problem with clients, either liquidity or so on and so forth, what we did was, we went ahead, took some debt instruments to help us offset that, because a driver would not be able to do it, right? But we could, and which is where we come in.
Wow. Yeah, proud of you. Good.
Fingers crossed, as I said, we're still in between the pandemic, but I think another 6 months to wait and watch how things go.
Yeah, we are all waiting and watching, but the intent, what you are talking here and what one is seeing is the intent. You have the right intent and you are implementing as much, rightfully. Ab wo to baki bhagwan ke
exactly. Bhagwan client ke bhi bharose hota hai hum log yahan, but theek hai. Vaccine ke
bharose bhi hai.
I agree, absolutely.
Vaccine chabayega. What does, and now I want to ask personally, what does money mean to you? What has it meant?
I think money and I don't have a very good relationship, but I've had a fortunate journey, and hence I've had a privileged kind of so far so good. And I'm not someone who gets super excited about money, but I think, it helps you solve a lot of problems otherwise, but I don't have a personal view on it very strong.
Yeah. Okay, good. Thank you. Thanks, Pushkar.
Thank you so much. Take care. Be safe.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, you too.